Giant tech company Meta is being sued for harming your children. We'll explain.
UNT's India Student Association celebrated Diwali this past Friday with a beautiful festival of lights.
Stay tuned to find out where I am and why I'm here.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Avery Callens.
And I'm Brooke Deering. As Gaza struggles in the wake of a humanitarian crisis, Hamas has released 2 Israeli hostages, while intense conversations go on around the world in hopes that more will be released. One freed hostage, an 85-year-old grandmother, recalls her experience. Please be warned that some of the following images may be quite graphic. CNN's Mike Valerio has more.
Group of Hamas thought might never come. One of the released hostages says she was kidnapped on a motorbike and taken to Gaza. The 85-year-old is likening her time with the group to going through hell.
She's really the first person that have been with other people there, and I think she's very aware that she can pass on information.
Their medical condition is okay. They're talking. At first, we immediately brought them to their family members. It was a very, very emotional meeting.
Meanwhile, in Gaza, people frantically search for survivors in buildings that have been bombed to ruins. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reporting more than 700 people have been killed in a bloody 24-hour period. And without much needed fuel being withheld in humanitarian aid deliveries, Gaza's hospitals are facing the possibility of mass casualty situations.
Without electricity, this hospital will just be a mass grave.
As attacks escalate, the Israeli military says it's now waiting for a green light on a ground invasion.
Hamas is responsible for civilian casualties, but we will do every effort to avoid them and to fight this war as speedily and as rapidly as we can, but it could be a long war.
To any state or non-state actor that is considering opening another front in this conflict against Israel, or who may target Israel's partners, including the United States, Don't throw fuel on the fire.
I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
The third time was not the charm for Republicans. Early this morning, House Republicans chose Representative Tom Emmer of Minnesota as their choice for Speaker of the House. But by mid-afternoon, it was clear he would not get the needed 217 votes. About 2 hours ago, Emmer pulled out of the race for Speaker of the House, and now there are 6 candidates who say they still want the job. The question, however, is can any of them muster enough support to actually win the job? Emmer was a long shot from the beginning because the hard right-wing representatives said they would not vote for him, in part because Emmer is too moderate. So tonight, the U.S. government continues to be in limbo since no work can be done without a speaker in place.
Meanwhile, another political figure is facing his own problems. Donald Trump is in court, charged with fraud, and listening to his former lawyer testifying against him. Michael Cohen told the court that he manipulated the Trump Organization's financial records. He said Donald Trump would tell him and other associates what outcome he wanted. Then Cohen and his team would change the documents to achieve that financial number. At issue is whether Trump overinflated his financial assets to the tune of $250 million. Also today, Michael Cohen admitted he lied to Congress back in 2017 because Donald Trump told him to. The trial continues tomorrow.
Brooke, it has been a while since I have faced the elements like I have today.
Yeah, I definitely have become best friends with my umbrella. So let's check with Sam to see if I'll need it for the rest of the week. Sam?
Thanks, y'all. It has been a rainy day, and it looks like the rain will not stop for a little while. Right now, we have rainy weathers with a temperature of 72 degrees, a bit of wind coming from the south at 5 miles per hour. And then later tonight, it'll still be the same, except it's going to be rather stormy. We have some lightning by chance. 70 degrees and a bit more wind coming from the south-southeast at 13 miles per hour. Looking tomorrow, it's going to be a little hotter at 82 degrees. The storms will continue as the wind will pick up to 14 miles per hour. You will definitely need your umbrella tomorrow, as well as probably a few days afterwards. Thank you. Back to you two at the desk.
Thank you, Sam. The United Auto Workers Union strike has been going on for almost a month and a half, and as it continues, it'll cost the big $3 billion of dollars.
ntTV's James Peeler has an update about the strike, including a walkout that happened here in North Texas just this morning. James?
Thank you. Earlier today, 5,000 auto workers at the Arlington Assembly joined the UAW strike, shutting down production at GM's largest plant and biggest moneymaker. Some of the most popular SUVs seen on roads today come off the line there. Chevy's Tahoe and Suburban, the GMC Yukon, and the Cadillac Escalade. Arlington's walkout brings the total number of UAW members on strike to over 45,000, with the strike going on for nearly 6 weeks now. Starting with assembly plants in Michigan, Missouri, and Ohio, it's grown to include 8 plants and 38 parts distribution centers in 22 states. Yesterday up in Michigan, 7,000 auto workers walked out at Stellantis' largest plant. The strike has cost GM $800 million so far and is costing them $200 million per week as the strike continues. That's all I have now. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, James. With Halloween just a week away, if you don't already have a costume, Rose Costumes is the place to go.
That is right, Brooke. Rose Costumes has something for any and all events and is a staple during this time of year. Our live reporter, Olivia Thompson, is at the store now. What do you have for us, Olivia?
Whether you just want your costume for a day or you want to hold on to it forever, Rose Costumes is the place to be. They do local high school theater production rentals, and they also have a ton of retired rentals up for grabs and purchase. Today we'll be talking with Assistant Store Manager Danny Garcia, who I'm pleased to be sitting here with me today. I want to know what sets Rose Costumes apart from all of the Halloween costume franchises in Denton.
I think the biggest difference is our experience that we offer to our customers, whether it be the decor of the store or how we actually treat our customers when they come into the building. We try to give them the best experience possible, similar to going to Disneyland, things of that nature.
That's awesome, and it's really important around this time of year. As we all know, Halloween is next Tuesday on October 31st. When can you expect the bulk of your customers to flood in for their total transformation?
More than likely, probably this coming Saturday.
Coming Saturday. And what would you say is the most likely and least likely costume that you see people pick year-round or every year?
I'd say the most likely is probably pirates. People like to misbehave, so they put on pirate costumes. And then the least likely, probably Western.
Western, and why do you think that is? Because we are in Texas.
I think because they probably dress like that all year round.
I believe that. So we're in Denton, and UNT and TWU, there's a bunch of college students here. What would you say to those who feel like they've outgrown the tradition of dressing up and having fun?
Oh, you're never too old to dress up.
Never too old. Would you say that there's an age limit, maybe past 20s, 30s, 40s?
I've had people in their 80s come in to play dress up.
That's amazing. So that means that you really do have a wide variety of selection of things for people.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you talking with me today. You actually have inspired me to pick out my own costume, so I'm going to pass it back to you two ladies in the studio while I do a little shopping.
Thanks, Olivia. Say, Avery, have you been coughing or sneezing a lot recently?
Brooke, I definitely have. My Zyrtec has become my best friend this season.
Well, there's a reason for that. It's virus season, and we have more on that when we come back.
And super fog in New Orleans caused some devastating fatal crashes. Stay with us. irritability, restlessness, agitation, and anger. If you frequently experience these symptoms, you may have fallen victim to technology addiction. 42 states are suing the technology company Meta for allegedly causing our youth to display addictive and harmful behavior. The suit also accuses the company, formerly known as Facebook, for violating the Children's Online Privacy Act, or COPPA, by gathering personal data on users 13 and under without parental consent. Youth depressant and suicidal ideals are believed to be a direct effect to long-term screen time of news speeds and frequent notifications. Tune in to ntTV's Your Health segment next week for more on ways to avoid technology addiction and resist the urge to connect.
We're just starting to see the first signs of the respiratory virus season here in the United States. And the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention is already forecasting that this fall and winter will be as bad as last year when it comes to respiratory illnesses and hospitalizations. With today's Health Minute, CNN's Mandy Gaither has more on what you can do to protect yourself.
Right now, respiratory virus levels are relatively low in the U.S. overall, but the CDC is forecasting this season will be similar to the last one, which saw hospitals fuller than at any other point in the pandemic and worse than pre-pandemic years.
Time to getting into the hospital and getting that life-saving care can be delayed, and that can cost lives.
At the peak of this respiratory virus season, CDC forecasts show there could be between 15 and 25 new weekly hospitalizations for every 100,000 people in the U.S. COVID-19 will probably account for half of those new hospitalizations, with flu and RSV combined accounting for the other half. To help prevent getting you or those around you sick, wash hands frequently, sanitize high-touch areas, and if you're not feeling well, stay home. If you have to go out, wear a mask and get tested, says Dr. Kristen England with Cleveland Clinic.
Not only for COVID, but also for influenza. Remember, we've got medications that we can use to treat both of these viruses if caught early.
Experts say everyone ages 6 months and older should get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and this season's flu shot, and the RSV vaccine is recommended for those who are most vulnerable for severe disease. England says now's the time to get those shots.
It takes 2 weeks for any of these vaccines to really become effective in our bodies. It doesn't happen overnight.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, Brooke, with virus season beginning and all of this weather going around, I think we really need to put some thought into staying healthy.
Definitely. I refuse to be sick on Halloween weekend. Let's see what we have to prepare for with our weather anchor, Sam.
Thanks, guys. I unfortunately know a few of my friends have caught some illnesses like the flu. So if that ever comes to pass, make sure you stay home. Your health comes before school does. Looking at the weather, we have what looks like relatively normal temperatures in the central areas and in the west, with temperatures ranging from 72 to 74. But if we look at the east, we have some warmer wet temperatures like 76 in Paris and an 81 in Sulphur Springs. We'll see a few more temperature heat when we look at our local map. Looking at the state of Texas, it appears like a curve of heat as formed from Abilene down to Austin and Houston and ending in Shreveport with temperatures at 82 and 85. But if you look around to the rest of the area, you see temperatures like a 75 in El Paso, a 72 in Oklahoma City, and a 74 in Amarillo. It's kind of weird. Looking at the 7-week weather, looks like there's no vitamin D in sight. We have a bit of heat as a result from the heat wave that is coming through because of all this rain we've had. But as the week progresses, it'll start to get a little colder until it becomes rather chilly this Monday with a high of 49 degrees. We've not seen such temperatures since Christmas last year, if I think so correctly. But that'll raise back up to 53 the following day on Tuesday. So Unfortunately, your swimming days are gone. But snow is soon, so make sure if it snows, build a really good snowman. Thank you. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks, Sam. A dangerous weather phenomenon called superfog caused a deadly pileup in Louisiana. Superfog occurs when normal fog mixes with the smoke from nearby fires. It creates a blanket of dark fog over the area, which causes low visibility levels for all drivers. Yesterday, 7 people were killed in a pileup caused by the superfog on Interstate 55. The pileup totaled 158 vehicles, including a truck with hazardous liquid, which caused a series of fires. Authorities said visibility was less than 10 feet. The city of New Orleans is continuing to monitor nearby fires and wind conditions.
Starbucks is rolling out their newest lineup of holiday cups for you to put your hot cocoa or coffee in.
And a new controller made by Sony being aimed to help disabled gamers play easier. Stick with us.
And don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
The UNT India Students Association held their annual Diwali night this past Friday, giving me the unique opportunity to join in on this festival of lights, grasp the essence of their organization, and delve into what Diwali really means for those who celebrate it. Amongst a tapestry of lights, UNT is embracing the spirit of Diwali as tradition calls for celebration and darkness surrenders to the glow. Diwali, a major Hindu festival celebrated by millions of people around the world, signifies the triumph of light over darkness and good over evil. But to many, Diwali means so much more.
It's not just about, back in India we used to burn firecrackers, come together as a family. It was like one of those festivals where you know that you're going to meet people, like even though you haven't met them the whole year, you're going to meet them.
People should know about the story behind this. There is very spiritual connections with the story. So all the, foreigners and all should get to know about these stories. It is very interesting. Yeah.
So personally, we are away from home, and obviously it's week of Dasara. Actually, this is the Dasara season, but we are celebrating Diwali in advance, so it's pretty exciting for us because obviously your parents are not here, and you're making friends here. It's so nice to see people in Indian clothes in the American land. I'm enjoying greatly here.
This past Friday, the UNT India Students Association celebrated their biggest event, Diwali Night, where they honored the Diwali festival in its true sense by spreading joy and lighting up the world of others. This year, ISA held their annual Diwali Night in the UNT Coliseum, where I got the chance to embrace and experience all of the traditions of Diwali. Not only did I get to enjoy cultural performances, signature dishes, and vibrant fashion, but I was so deeply moved by the warmth and genuine happiness that everyone extended to me while I learned what it really means to celebrate Diwali. The India Students Association is an organization of a student-centered community, home to over 2,000 members, and open to all individuals who share an interest in the Indian subcontinent.
So basically we start with the mix and mingle for the freshmen who come in for at UNT. It's like you just mix and we have dance performances. It's like open stage, people just get on the stage, dance, and then try to talk to people. And then we got the second event, which is India Night, which is basically like Dussehra. We celebrate the festival Dussehra by dancing on the Garba.
Make sure you keep a lookout for any of their future events on the UNT ISA Instagram or Facebook. And with that, I wish you a festive and happy Diwali. The timeline of Diwali is based on the Hindu lunar calendar. So if you want to join in on this celebration, make sure you are looking out for ISA's Diwali 2024 next October to November.
Another way to lighten the mood as we sit through today's wet weather is to think about the holidays ahead. Starbucks has unveiled their newest line of holiday-themed cups inspired by Winter Wonderland. The cup will change color when you put in your tasty hot chocolate, coffee, or tea, and when it is poured inside, you can purchase this cup in a variety of sizes ranging from $5 to $28 as soon as they hit the shelves. I've got my eye on the glitter red reusable cup. And we would like to know which ones would you like to look at, both Brooke and Ben here.
The shiny winter white gold cups are what's catching my eye.
Amazing.
Moving somewhat into sports, Sony is working on making gaming easier for people with disabilities. Pre-orders are now open for the Access controller, and while it may be odd-looking, it was created with one premise in mind: that no two people share the same experience, which is why it's customizable, meaning players can tailor it to fit their individual needs. The idea of controllers for disabled players isn't new. Nintendo designed a hands-free controller for the NES back in the 80s. This new controller will retail for $90 and is expected to start shipping in early December. Avery, what do you think about the Rangers game last night?
I don't want to talk about it. She's from Houston.
Coming up next, the Rangers defeated the Astros in the Game 7 win that many did not see coming. It's been an amazing day for baseball, with the Rangers winning Game 7 against the Astros, scoring a total of 11 points with the Astros only managing 4. The Rangers started off strong with 3 runs in the first inning, 2 more than their opponent. Throughout the game, the Rangers would hold the Astros back, only allowing them a single run, if any, in the following innings. It was a tough game, but well-deserved after the Game 6 win against Houston. It's been a long time, but UFC 294 is finally here. The UFC main event was a riveting match with Islam Makhachev knocking out Alexander Volkanovski just 1 minute into the match. Islam hit Alexander with a devastating left kick to the head, rendering him unconscious. And the co-main was just as interesting, having longtime fan favorite Kamaru Usman line up against Khamzat Chimaev. With Usman's record, many expected him to gain another win against the younger and less experienced Chimaev, but Chimaev defeated Usman by unanimous decision. I'd watch out for Chimaev in the coming months. And the Stars are on fire these past couple of weeks with a 2-game win streak after Saturday's game against the Flyers. It was a close match with the Stars only gaining 1 point over the Flyers before the games end. Tonight, they will battle the Penguins at 6:30 p.m. Now, ever since I was a kid, I always loved climbing. Wasn't very good at it, but I loved it all the same. Last week, I went to local climbing gym Movement to see what they had to offer.
We've got a better day. Oh my God.
Right here in Denton is one of the best free climbing gyms in the nation. Recently, I was invited to come take a deeper look into Movement's unique take on fitness. Movement is a chain of fitness centers across the United States and is owned and operated by active climbers. But what makes Movement so special is not their opportunities for climbing, but the other classes which they provide for their visitors. Manager Catherine Burbles had this to say.
Also have yoga classes every night, 2 of them a night, and then we have some on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday. We also have fitness as well as personal coaching in a program called Climb Fit that is every Friday. Additionally, we have a lot of kids programs.
But it's not just the classes. Movement also provides a fitness center for their visitors equipped with the most optimal tools for growing your strength on the wall. At Movement, athletes are given a positive community to lean on without judgment. According to Catherine, there is no wrong way to climb.
You're surrounded by people who are here to touch plastic rocks and go out and go camping.
During my time at Movement, Catherine invited me to get a hands-on look at their walls. I must say, it was quite exhilarating. To get involved, you can go to movementgyms.com/Denton for info on memberships and classes.
I had a wonderful time at Movement, and I know I'll be back again soon. That's all for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Ben, and thank you for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us tomorrow at noon and tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.